Oh my god, you guys, just James here, okay? And today we are talking about boy bands. Specifically, boy groups that were all, a group of guys, they dressed alike, they sang in harmony, and had pop songs ranging from like the 90s to the early 2000s. The top peak of boy bandom. But I decided let's do something a little fun today. Rather than just having a general discussion, I found here from Entertainment Weekly the top 20 boy bands of all time. And I love top 10 lists because, well,
I want to fight.
So let's discuss this and see if we agree, all right? So let's get started. We're starting off right. Number 25, the Naked Brothers Band. I don't know who this band is. 2014, okay. I was well aged out from this music then. I don't know who that is. If you are a Naked Brothers fan stan, please sound off in the comment sections. Let me have it. I don't know that one. All right. Number 24, Westlife. Now, we actually encountered them in a recent video when I talked about the summer concert that had Jessica Simpson in it. I didn't know who Westlife was, but apparently they were a big deal in the UK for like a hot second. We have here Day 26, a Puff Daddy creation. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard this band. Have any of y'all? Did they have a song? That's usually how it works with P. Diddy groups. They have like a song and then you never hear from them again. Moving on. 17, K-pop. I don't have a dog in this battle. I don't know anything about K-pop really, but I'm sure people like them and I will not say anything about them because
I'm afraid of that fandom.
Moving on. LFO. Okay. This one I have some opinions on. New Kids on the Block had a lot of hits. Here's the thing, you guys. I was very young when this was popular. And this is kind of like the frat boy set of boy bands. Like 98 Degrees is like the nice frat boys. LFO is sort of just like the party guy. That's kind of the idea they had behind them. They're sort of like Ryan Reynolds-ish, and Van Wilder. It was kind of like that, but boy band form. And they rapped too. So watch that back and see if you cringe or not. Next up, number 20, Take That. Okay, we're entering the early 90s. This is also another British boy band. They apparently never got sick of boy bands over there. They are always popular because they tried to make this happen here and it didn't quite take yet. We weren't ready for the boy band aesthetic yet, like early 90s. I think their big hit was I Want You Back. I do remember hearing that. Whatever I say. That one was like all raining and you see Robbie Williams like doing spins in the rain. It's very beautiful. And then they broke up. Number 19. It's time to get personal, you guys. Big Time Rush. Now, hear me out. I was in high school when these guys were at peak popularity when they had the little Nickelodeon show. I remember watching this with my nephew because he was a big Time Rush fan. And I remember sitting there and enjoying it because they were all so freaking cute. Oh my God. I was actually shocked to learn they actually were like a touring band that like had tour dates and stuff. It was like when the Cheetah Girls suddenly became a touring band. I'm like, what is going on here? I thought this was like made up for TV. All right, work. And I will tell you this right now. I'm aware of Big Time Rush's existence, but I couldn't tell you one song they sang. I was here for this one, all right? This was actually peak me becoming a teenager and being like, because bear in mind, when like Backstreet Boys and Nsync were popular, I was still really little. So like I was living vicariously through my sister's awe of these boy bands and having them on the walls. But this was my teenage years, all right? Me coming to middle school and really
saying, oh, okay.
B2K. All the girls and gays were about this group. We went bananas over them, okay? Word Up magazine featuring them. Oh my God. Like they were great dancers, had great looks. The songs were there. Girl, everything. Being the breakthrough hit off a garbage movie, The New Guy. But the only thing to take out of that was it brought us B2K. All right? Girl. Enough gushing. Moving on. All right, some of these we're going to have to skip through because I don't know who the hell they even are. Number 17 is Together. I don't know who that is. Brockhampton. Don't know you guys. Sorry. O-Town. Number 15. Another one where I was just coming into, being a teenager when they popped out because they were the very tail end of the boy group craze. This is for the TV show Making the Band. O-Town was the winners, and they had one big hit, All or Nothing. The Is It All? That one. That was their song. And baby, it was ballading down. And there was one member in there that I had the biggest crush on, who was Eric. Eric is my favorite. Oh my God. They were really cute. And again, they were another, like, Making the Band reality TV creation, so they were destined to not go on beyond a few songs. They also had a very cringe song called Liquid Dreams. Yeah, which I think is about having a wet dream. Pretty certain it is. Moving on. Number 14, 98 Degrees. I'm sure this placement probably stings because they had a very big chokehold in the boy band realm as far as like fandom goes. I'm learning this secondhand. I did not realize how popular they really were. Because, like, I knew them as, like, the guys that kind of sang the really slow songs as a kid. But apparently the fan base really went wild for them. Y'all tore me to shreds when I did not know what Esta Noche, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't know. They weren't tuned in here, okay? But apparently Ernie had this coworker that, like, went to their concert when they came to Wisconsin. Like, she drove all the way up to the sticks to watch them. Like, the fandom went hard. And I looked at pictures from that concert. It was packed. That casino was, like, to the rafters with fans. Like, crazy the following they had. Didn't even know, even to this day. So, you know, good for you. Drew Lachey, Nick, and the other guys. Number 13, the Monkees. Okay, we're going real far back. This doesn't count technically because this is before my time. This is like my mom's time. But again, tying it back to Big Time Rush, it was a very similar group where they were a television creation and they became a band later on. And we're like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Number 12, Boys to Men. Oh, again, I was very young when this group was popular, but again, they're probably the ones that age the best out of all the boy bands go. Like, their songs are still classics and everyone still likes them. And again, they danced, but they didn't quite have that boy band aesthetic that we know today, where it was like very over the top and campy. They were the more respectable boy group. They aged with dignity. That being said, they had what is probably my favorite boy band trope, which was where they slow the song down and talk really deeply, intensely to whoever their subject is. You know what I'm saying, girl? The Jonas Brothers. Okay, I have to say, I was technically not really here for this, but I was here for it because I had a nephew and he watched the Jonas Brothers. That Camp Rock movie, baby, I saw it too many times. So, I'm fully aware of the existence of Jonas Brothers, and I have to say, I didn't quite get it until they all aged out and became their own solo acts. Nick Jonas, I was tuned in for Nick Jonas. Chains, come on now. Or Joe Jonas. And Kevin was also there. All right, we are skipping ahead for a few of these because I don't know who some of these people are. Number 10, 5 Seconds of Summer, don't know you. Number 9, Menudo. I don't know much about this group except that people clown them all the time because new members were constantly shuffled out of it. Like, you couldn't grow to love somebody because they're always aging out. But it also gave us Ricky Martin. Number 8, New Edition, Candy Girl, good hits, gave us Bobby Brown. Let's move on. I was not alive for this one. Number 7, Backstreet Boys. I remember my sisters loved them and had their posters all up on their walls. And I remember being a shithead little kid and thinking I was so clever calling them the Backstreet Boys, knowing damn well I also love them too. But we do that, you know? I was necking a group that had no idea I even existed. AJ was probably it for me. Still is. Honestly, AJ is still beautiful. With that hat and everything, and the voice is aged now, so it's got some gravel to it. Oh my god. And he was on Secret Celebrity Drag Race, so he likes gay people, so good times. Moving on. Also, that's really low. Like, I figured they'd be a little higher. Like, number 7? If this number 1 is the Beatles, I'm quitting here. Number 6, Wait, hold on a second. Hanson outranked the Backstreet Boys? In what universe? Hanson had like one song. We only know Bop. That's... Alright, now we're fighting. How did they outrank the Backstreet Boys? Hanson, Bop, girls were obsessed with them. I thought they all kind of looked like Jodie Foster, like all 3 of them. They all look like Jodie Foster. But moving on. Number 5, New Kids on the Block. Now, again, I wasn't alive for this. This was kind of the prototype boy group that everyone thinks about. Like, they're the ones that truly set the mold that we took into the 90s and beyond. Don't really know a lot about them. I know one of their brothers is Marky Mark. So there's that. Number 4, BTS. They're great. Number 3, One Direction. Again, I wasn't really here for this. I was too old. I was in high school at this time, so I wasn't really listening to a lot of boy bands. But I remember one thing that really set me off about them is that they're marketed as this big boy band, but they didn't dance. And they didn't follow any aesthetics that I know for a boy band. So it kind of like threw me off a little bit. I was guarded. My guard was up. I'm just like, why aren't you dancing? Why don't all your outfits match? One of you has to have crazy hair. That's the rules. Those are the rules to a boy band. It is what it is. We got Harry Styles out of it. So, moving on. Number 2, Nsync. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they outranked the Backstreet Boys. I figured they would have been like neck and neck as far as like boy bands go because those of us from the TRL generation, we remember it. Okay, I was there. I remember the screaming fans. These girls practically had knives out fighting over these boy bands, okay? Like, Nsync and Backstreet Boys, the line was drawn in the sand. Like, you had to pick a side at school. This determined where you sat at lunch, okay? The girls were mad about it if you were an Nsync fan sitting with a Backstreet Boys table. And TRL really helped this. I really miss those days. Like, we don't put fan bases against each other on live TV like that anymore. We really need to. Like, when you see the screaming girls in the audience, like, they panned, like, at the outside. It's like, no, Justin Timberlake over in the car. Oh, my God. Oh, I miss those days. Let's go back. I love JC. JC, our second lead vocalist. We love her. We stan her in this house. Who else? Oh, I also love the background. Joey. Oh my God. Joey Fatone in those early videos. So cute. Oh my God. And that high kick. Go watch I Want You Back. Okay, those high kicks Joey was giving. Everything. Hitting the head, all right? Lance Bass and, of course, Chris are very important members. Lance giving us the bass. And Chris, if you notice in concerts, his high voice is always the one picking up the slack for everyone else's voice when they're performing live. Like, he was a valued member of that group. I honestly feel like Backstreet Boys should have been ranked like neck and neck. They should have tied. I'm willing to fight about it, all right? I feel like Backstreet Boys and Nsync are tied. Who is number one? Let us see. Let us find out. Number one boy group of all time is the Jackson 5. I agree. I can agree with this. Okay, now, again, I was not alive for this. This was like my mom's generation growing up. So like from what I understand from watching this and watching that amazing movie, the Jackson 5 movie they used to show on TV, the fan base was real. These boys were huge. People freaked out over them. Little Michael, Jermaine, all of them. And they had some good hits. And also a little personal story. I grew up hearing this music like secondhand, but when I watched Cirque du Soleil, the Michael Jackson show here, I remember I only teared up once and got moved during the section where they have the puppetry. It's little Michael singing I'll Be There. I remember feeling it. I remember crying. Like, I remember it hitting me in the emotions there. So yeah, I can get it. Number one, totally. Was there a boy group that was missing off this list? I feel like there's a couple. Like, what was that one that did Baby When the Lights Go Out? Why weren't they accepted? Yeah, there was a lot missing from this. Where's IMX? Drew Hill? No Drew Hill? Silk? Come on now. Where are all these bands at? There's a lot missing from this grouping, and I'm willing to fight about it. So yeah, let's hear about it in the comment section. Was there somebody missing? Let me know. Let's have a discussion, all right? Now It's Just James, okay? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back next time with some more discussions, all right? Bye!
Well, it's over now. Click my next YouTube video. Like, comment, and subscribe.